All right, everyone, welcome to the Farside Podcast, Season 2. I'm your host, Landon Miker, and I guess I'm just going to get right into it. As you can see, things are a little different right now. If you watched the first season of the podcast, you would remember that we had a very nice studio that we did all these episodes in, and we got to make good use of it. However, right now, due to the restrictions in my local area, because of COVID, we are unable to make use of that studio, and therefore we are having to do this podcast virtually for now, or remotely for now. So until things change, whenever that will be, this is what it'll look like. So, get used to my background, I guess, for now, and we'll see what happens. I would like to give you a timeline of when things will change and when we'll be able to get back in studio, but unfortunately, right now, things are constantly changing, and I just don't really have any sort of timeline. I ideally, hopefully, by July sometime, but stranger things have happened, so I don't really know at this point. So for now, it's going to be virtual, and we'll just roll with it. Also, just want to let you know, episodes will be coming out again weekly on Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which was the exact same time and day it came out in Season 1 last summer. There will be no highlight videos this year. The highlight videos were highly unsuccessful and basically a waste of my time. Not going to lie. So no highlights this year. If you missed the highlight videos, you can start a petition or something or take it up with my communications team. All right. So today I have a guest, and you probably already know who it is, judging by the title of this episode, but I'm going to introduce him anyways. You may remember today's guest from the first season of the Farside Podcast. He was co-host for a little while until things changed. He is a YouTuber, a movie critic, filmmaker, and a screenwriter. Please welcome back to the Farside Podcast, Noah Davidson. Hello, Noah.
Hello, Landon. It's good to be here again.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And any big news, anything you want to share before we jump right into this interview about anything changed in the past year that you feel like you want to share with the audience?
Nothing that I can think of right now, I guess. Got a lot of going on NTD Films, just like there's going to be a lot going on Farside, hopefully here. So yeah, it's exciting.
All right, great. So Noah, we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump right into this interview. I'm going to start off with a pretty basic question. Noah, what kind of videos are you posting right now on NTD Films?
So as it says in my title, like my channel name, films is in the title. Basically anything to do with movies and films I cover on my channel. It's mostly movie reviews. There's some TV show reviews. I can do rankings for movies and TV shows as well. I make my own short films, hopefully coming up soon. Haven't been able to do that for a while, but short films I'm hoping to do. Maybe I did post one cinematography reel recently, so I might try to do some more of that. And basically just anything film, TV show related, you can find that on my channel.
All right, excellent. Over the past year, it's become kind of clear, I think, that when looking at your subscribers and the average views that your videos are receiving, your channel has grown pretty significantly in the past year. Oh, first of all, why do you think that is? And as someone who's been posting on this channel, NTD Films, now for over 3.5 years, how does that make you feel?
I am very happy to be gaining subscribers and gaining views. I think like I've been posting, like you said, for 3.5 years, and for a while there, like when I was posting the plushy videos and like those reactions and stuff, those videos weren't very good, and you could tell by the views. I was like I think I was stuck at like 45 subscribers for a while, getting like 2 views a video. Now the numbers are higher. I'm up to, I think, 171 at the time of recording, so that's nice. I gain a couple every month, and it's been a pretty constant rate, so I'm happy about that. But I think the reason for that is because back for like the first little while, I was very inconsistent with uploading and very inconsistent quality as well. Now I feel like personally that my videos are higher quality, and also they're more consistent because I post twice a week, and mostly it's like very similar content. It's movie reviews, it's similar franchises, stuff like that. So people come to expect that, and when they find it, they're more likely to find other videos because there's more videos on there now. And yeah, just in general, I'm really happy the channel's been growing, and I like to see it.
All right, yeah, excellent. I also want to talk, I mean, you've been making upgrades too. So let's talk about how you recently upgraded a big piece of your production equipment. With that, I'm obviously referring to your camera. So can you tell us what kind of camera you are now using and why you decided it was time to get a new camera?
So I'm currently using the Panasonic Lumix G85. I think at the time of recording this, 2 videos or maybe 3 videos have been posted and recorded using that camera. And there should be more by the time this podcast comes out. But yeah, I decided to get that camera because Mr. Hollywood himself, he has that camera and he spoke very highly of it. And I was looking for a really good like mid-range camera, and this fit that, check that box, whatever you want to say. And the reason why I needed a new camera was because the old camera I had is like probably like 15 years old. It was my mom's old like Nikon, which wasn't even meant for video recording. It was meant for photography. And my setup, you can attest to this because you saw the setup when you came in for that Harry Potter video. My mic didn't even work on the old camera. I had to attach that mic to my phone, which then had to be like set up on a table beside the tripod, and it was just super complex and wasn't very high quality audio or video really. And so I was like, I'm trying to do this YouTube more often. I want to make some more short films. I don't want to have to borrow yours or Parker's cameras whenever we're making a short film. So I decided to invest.
Yeah, good investment for sure. And just to follow up here, so does your mic actually work on this camera or does it
Yes,
still?
it does
It
now.
does. So it was a
And
camera issue.
it was the camera issue, not the mic issue. And for some
Okay.
reason, the mic also works better now than it did on my phone.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, like it
Hmm.
records louder and better quality. So that's good as well.
Sweet. Wow. Yeah, I was wondering because you said something about that there in your answer. I was like, oh, so does it work now? That's nice. All right. So here's a PR question. My PR team really wants this one. They forced it into the script. So here it is. I'm just gonna ask. Um, with everything that's been going on in the past year, from the pandemic to the lockdowns, did you personally find it easier or more challenging to create content on a regular basis during what has been a very, I guess, chaotic year?
Well, I think it's easier and harder at the same time because it's easier to create like my review type content because I'm at home more. I can watch videos. I can just be in the studio and record. But in terms of like the stuff I really, really want to make, like short films, that has been a huge struggle to do because I think the last shoot I was on was for your laugh track last year. Oh no, sorry, Sleep No More is the last one. And since then, we haven't been able to film. I've written and like prepared 2 full projects, and we've just had to postpone them indefinitely. And it's been really tough to get those out. So it's been easier for like small scale individual content, but for group content, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. I can definitely relate there. Short films, obviously, I haven't necessarily been planning any short films, but for sure with just these podcasts even, right? Like it's a challenge to even film these now. It's, a whole new set of obstacles now to try and, do this virtually as we're doing. All right, so you can thank my PR team for that one,
Okay, I
everyone.
will.
So
Thank you
yeah.
very much.
So now we're actually going to talk about Sleep No More. So Noah, in December of 2020, not this year, you released your first short film in well over a year. I believe the one before that was technically How to Bake Chocolate Chip Cookies. I could be
If you
wrong.
consider that a short
If
film.
you consider that a short film, it's just a pretty crappy one. But if you consider it a short film, then that would be the last one. So well over a year. But you made Sleep No More. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Give us a summary on what it's about, and then tell us a little bit about how it felt to create a short film again and get back into that environment and kind of working on a creative project like that.
So Sleep No More is actually, this was like a remake of Sleep No More. Nobody ever actually saw the original. Maybe at some point I'll post the original, but I made the original in grade 10 media production class, and it wasn't very good. I had to rush it and do like the whole thing in like 2 classes because I was away most of the time we got for it. But I made it and I really liked the concept. And so I decided, I'm going to remaster this. And a lot of the stuff, like the opening segment, is almost word for word a recopy. But then after that, we kind of like added some stuff, made it more up to scale with like what my writing is now. Not that my writing is much better, but it's a little better. And so Sleep No More, in essence, is about a drug called Sleep No More, which allows it's like a fake advertisement for this company. And Sleep No More is a drug that allows you to feel like you've slept a full 8 hours without ever closing your eyes. That's a tagline. And basically, you stay with Satan, played by Parker. And Satan is like the spokesperson for Devil's Drugs, the people behind Sleep No More. And that's basically it. That's all you need to know. I don't want to spoil any of the jokes or stuff. You guys can check that out if you want to, I guess.
All right, great. And how did it feel to make this short film?
I've had a lot of fun making that. It's actually, I think, the first time I'd ever been like a lead director, if you want to call it that, because in most of the other stuff, I like media production, I'm co-directing with you or I'm co-directing with Parker. And this is the first time I was like head writer and head director, and like it was my project. So I found that really fun. And just being on set with people was really fun as well. I hadn't done a whole lot of that like up and before that point besides laugh track, because like I wasn't in media production grade 12. So like since I think one mission was maybe, or I guess chocolate chip cookies was the last one that I was a part of making. and
Yeah.
then and then so it was well over a year, and then now it's been a long time since then. So like that's like the only time I've been on set for a very long time.
All right, very good. So, sticking on the topic of short films, I know you've been very busy writing two different short films here. So, can you give us a summary on these two short films, and then we'll go from there. So, just give us a brief summary on the two films you've been kind of working on planning over the last few months.
Okay, so I know I've talked publicly about Escape on several occasions, I want to say, and I'm very bad at giving a synopsis of it, but I'm going to try my best here. Basically, in Escape, there's this guy named Ryan, and Ryan has been captured by a mob boss, and the mob boss is trying to get information out of Ryan. And when he captured Ryan, he also captured his fiance Lori, and the two of them are like trying to basically work with the mob boss while also trying to escape themselves. And a lot of terror and action ensues, and in the end you have to see if Ryan is able to save Lori and escape. And then I guess my other one, I don't know how much I want to give away because I don't think I've actually talked about this on my channel yet, have I? Maybe a little bit.
Just
So
on Instagram, I think in a
just
couple
on Instagram.
of
Okay, so
posts. Yeah.
I want to be kind of vague here because I'm not sure how much of the plot I want to reveal for this one. But this one is called Change. Change is a short film that basically there's a group of friends and they're kind of talking about change. They are on the verge of graduating and a lot of life lessons ensue, I guess, so you want to call it. So two very different projects.
Yeah, very, very different genres there. Um, and I guess the next question is, can you tell us a little bit about these films' current status and as well as explain maybe why it is they've yet to hit production?
Well, your PR team has already made it very clear that we're facing some struggles with COVID and stuff. And so, well, the first part of that question was what stage they're at. Is that what it was?
Yeah, current status, correct.
So the current status of Escape is postponed indefinitely. I've finished almost all pre-production. I've finished the script like back in December, I want to say. I shot listed most of it except for like one scene, and we're waiting until public health restrictions are like way down because that's a lot of inside work, and you aren't even allowed to have like one person inside your house right now, so that's just postponed indefinitely. Change, on the other hand, I wrote that maybe, I don't know, 2 months ago now, maybe 1 month ago, I can't honestly remember, and that was supposed to be recorded a month ago, but everything got shut down, and now they're slowly starting to ease restrictions. So it looks like, since this is all outdoors, this film, we're maybe going to be able to shoot it next week. So it might, maybe some of it'll even be shot by the time this podcast is released. So hopefully it is, but not entirely sure yet.
Very nice. And I guess my last question on the topic of these two short films is when ideally would you, I mean, obviously you would have liked, I'm sure, I think Escape to have come out already, but now looking forward into the future, when would you like these short films to come out?
So Change is now like the first one coming out. It was supposed to be Escape then Change, but that's obviously changed. Change is
Pun intended.
yeah, change, as I said, is gonna be about this group of friends on the verge of graduating. So I kind of want that to come out at the end of June. I know it's June 16th as we're recording this, so that's really cutting it close. But ideally, I want that to come out at the end of June. And then I guess I want Sleep No More. Well, Sleep No More has to be rec- filmed by the end of July, I want to say, because of actors.
Right.
And so if it's filmed by the end of July, I'm hoping maybe the end of August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's gonna be definitely tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we get to get around to filming Escape soon. All right, so Noah, moving on now. I've noticed you've been shooting some cold opens for your latest videos, which have been well received by many of your fans. Why have you decided to create these and include them in your videos?
Well, it kind of goes down to like our basically our audience, like our what do you want to call it? Our advertising department has been doing some market research and has found that people are more likely to watch a longer length of video if there's something like funny or entertaining in it, obviously. And just going straight into a review probably isn't the most entertaining, especially if you're not really into movies as much as I am and you are. So getting the audience like hooked with some sort of comedic scene at the start is hopefully going to make them be like, this guy's pretty entertaining. Let's hear what he has to say. And that'll improve the audience retention, which is a very important analytic on YouTube, because if more people are watching your videos for longer, the algorithm suggests it to more people, and it's just a whole cycle. So I want people to watch longer, and just in general, if I'm funny and entertaining at the beginning, maybe people will want to actually watch and hear what I have to say about the reviews.
And have you noticed a difference in your watch time since you've started these cold opens?
Honestly, I suck at like reading the analytics. Like, it's tough. I have noticed views have gone up since I started them. That could be coincidental, but audience retention, I think, is maybe up about 30 seconds or so on average, which,
Okay.
yeah, it's an
It's
improvement.
yeah, yeah, it's an improvement, exactly. All right, so we're gonna move on to your collab. So in April of this year, you did a collab with another YouTuber named Bradley J. So how did this opportunity come about, and what was it like working with Bradley J?
So it came about basically back in February, or probably, I think probably closer to March. I was looking through a bunch of like smaller film channels, and I was like subscribing to ones I found interesting. I found his channel, and he ended up like subscribing back. He was pretty active on like watching my videos, commenting, stuff like that. And then he actually reached out to me on Instagram and was like, "Hey, we should do a collaboration sometime." And so we were kind of talking back and forth, and we wanted to do a series of films where it's like a film. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you please repeat it? God,
Nice.
stupid Siri. Let's get that away.
Yeah.
Where was I?
I think you're just getting around to him offering you to do the collab, I believe.
Okay. So yeah, he offered to do a collab with me, and we were thinking that we wanted to do something where there was a movie and then like a sequel afterwards, not necessarily a franchise, but like a two-part movie thing. And so we ended up deciding on The Shining and Doctor Sleep. He wanted to do The Shining, which I was fine with because like I didn't really care either way. And so we just ended up recording those two together, and then yeah, we just did that, I guess.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about your second channel, formerly NTD Games, but recently it was rebranded to N2D Films. So what made you decide to do this rebranding, and what are your future plans now that this channel's been rebranded?
Okay, so first of all, you've seen the old NTD Games logo and banner. It was pretty bad. And so I wanted to update those. And I'm like, I'm already updating this. I may as well update the whole channel in general. And I've been wanting to kind of do like the vloggy, talk to the camera type stuff, but stuff that didn't really like fit on my films channel, like the what have I done recently? Like I've done a couple of stories and just like talked about my days and stuff. That stuff obviously doesn't really fit on the films channel, but I still wanted to kind of talk about that sometimes because I just find it fun to like talk to the camera and whatever. And so I was like, that doesn't fit on films, that doesn't fit on games. And at the time, I wasn't really feeling like doing a whole lot of gaming content either. So I was like, let's just make this N2D Films. It doesn't have to be about films. It just has to be whatever I want. And so now there's gaming content on there, mostly Minecraft. Maybe at some point I'll branch out to other games, but I've been really liking Minecraft lately. And then obviously those vlog type videos. And basically my goal on that channel is just to post random stuff that I have fun making and hope that some people like it.
Yeah, that's great. I just want to quickly bring up, we may not be in studio, but that doesn't mean the mug from the
Drink
studio
like a moose.
has not ventured into my remote bedroom where we
Unfortunately, I don't have a mug. I've just got a water bottle today.
Oh yeah, you used to when you were a co-host, you would bring your Scooby-Doo mug, remember?
Yeah, I'll have to bring that to the next one if I'm on again.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. We've got one last question here for you, Noah, and then we are going to go for a quick sponsor break. So the last question for you, Noah, is looking ahead down the road, what kind of content do you have planned, not only for this summer on NTD Films, but even long term? Like, what are your goals and hopes for this channel going forward? And that means like, not only, this summer, obviously, but in the fall, and even over the next year or two. Where do you where do you see yourself going with this channel? Where do you envision yourself taking off with it?
Well, ideally, I'd hope that the channel keeps growing and hopefully grows at a faster rate because I want to be able to grow this channel and actually get like a large audience. And obviously that's like the goal of most YouTube channels is to get a big audience. But in terms of content wise, like I said, I've got 2 short films coming. I'm going to maybe try and do some more like cinematography reels just so I can practice my skills and maybe try to improve them some more. And movie reviews, basically a lot of the same stuff. And hopefully try to get some more creative projects in, like the short films, like the reels, and just try to make some more original content because the movie reviews, well, they are fun enough to make. Where my like heart is really at is actually filmmaking, not film reviewing. So ideally, I'd like to make some more of my own content in the future here.
Great. Yeah. Sounds like a good plan there, N Dog. All right, so that's about it. That's all the questions I have for you, Noah. Is there anything else, I guess, before we go for our quick sponsor break that you'd like to add? Any information? I mean, obviously, go subscribe to NTD if you're not subscribed. Even N2D if you're not subscribed to N2D. Go check out his channels. Obviously, some great movie review content and just lots of great content on both channels, which I think you guys should go check out. But Noah, is there anything else you'd like to add before we cut to sponsor here?
No, I think everything I've wanted to say I've said already. So yeah.
All right, great. So, guys, we'll cut to a quick ad break here, and when we get back, we will get into our movie review for today's episode. So, yeah, enjoy these ads.
Abigator has a brand new line of flavors for all who seek bigger muscles and bigger boners. Flavors like jackfruit jizz, come on broccoli, and our hottest seller yet, dildo. Now that's enough flavors for you to feel ripped both at the gym and in bed. And wait, it gets even better. If you order online within the next hour, we'll give you a second bottle half price off.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yes, but not as big as the boners you'll receive from this amazing product. So, come one and come all and try out our new line of flavors today. Abigator Sex and Sports Energy Drinks fuels your bones and boners.
So Condor Productions is more or less just a place for me to upload all my videos, just in case I lose the files. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, let me just give it a Sage X spin.
Oh my Jesus!
Hi, this is Jake, and you're listening to my latest single, Pain of the Past. If you fuck with what you're hearing, check this shit out on Apple Music, Spotify, or the iTunes Store.
All right, everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those ads. We are now moving on to the movie review portion of this episode. Today's movie we are reviewing is the 2002 film Red Dragon. I'm just going to go over all the information you need to know about it, the general information, then we're going to get into my newest thoughts. All right, so it released, as I said, in the year of 2002. The genres, it falls under the genres of mystery, thriller, and horror. The runtime is 2 hours and 4 minutes. It has a rating of R. I think every film we've reviewed on this channel has had a rating of R. So the director is Brett Ratner. It's starring, and some of these names I'm probably going to botch, but it's starring Anthony Hopkins, Edward Norton, Ralph Fiennes, Harvey Keitel, and Emily Watson. So now, reading off of the film summary, former FBI agent Will Graham confronts an old nemesis, Hannibal Lecter, when he's tasked to hunt down a grisly serial killer known as the Tooth Fairy. Just let me flip the page here. Okay, so some interesting or not so interesting facts about Red Dragon. This movie is based off a book written by Thomas Harris titled Red Dragon. Red Dragon is part of the Hannibal Lecter series, which includes Hannibal, Hannibal Rising, and The Silence of the Lambs. And this film earned a total of $209.2 million in box office ticket sales. All right, and moving on to critic ratings. So IMDb gives it a 7.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 68%, and Metacritic gives it a 60%. All right, so Noah, let's get right into your thoughts on the film. If you want to just, start explaining what you thought of Red Dragon. Take it away.
Okay, so right off the bat, we get like that scene at the opera, and then we cut to Hannibal serving like a dinner party to them. And it's like implied at the time that he like killed the dude and then like fed him to them. And I really like that. Like I thought it's super creepy and it's like super dark and unnerving. And then I think it's confirmed in the opening credits where it's like Hannibal feeds some, like they had some catchy newspaper slogan that confirmed it. And I really liked that because it's just super creepy and it shows how like messed up of a person he is. And I really liked that opening scene. I thought it was a great intro to the film.
Yeah, if you don't mind me jumping in there, I actually want to talk quickly about that opening scene. So I've read the book for Silence of the Lambs just recently, and that is talked about in the book of that. In that book, that scene is talked about, which I thought was kind of cool because when I watched this movie, I'm thinking I recognize the scene right away. It's an event that's discussed in the book of Silence of the Lambs because Clarice uses like it's one of, I don't remember who he killed, it's some character he killed, and then she goes to like his storage place or something like that. It's not mentioned in the movie, but it's of Silence of the Lambs, but it's in this movie, so I thought that was kind of cool too. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry for rambling there.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know that. That's cool. And yeah, just basically in general, I think that entire cold open is fantastic. That scene, and then following up with Edward Norton's character coming over, and we see the capture of Hannibal and how they're like trying to outsmart each other and outwit each other. And I thought that was a really good showing of showing their characters and how they're gonna be pinned up against each other throughout the rest of the film. And I thought that was just really, in general, that cold open was really good, I think.
Yeah, I will agree that I definitely thought it got off to a really good start.
So in general, like these like serial killer, thriller, mystery, like detective movies are probably my favorite genre of movie. Like this, Silence of the Lambs, Seven. Zodiac isn't the most well done, but like the premise I like. I know that's an unpopular opinion that we both have, is that Zodiac's not the best film.
Definitely not.
Yeah, but like this genre in general is probably my favorite genre. And I just really like seeing like the inside the head of like these detectives trying to figure out serial killers and going through their thought processes. And I really enjoy seeing that. So seeing it again in this film, well, it wasn't as like, it's very similar to Silence of the Lambs, obviously, where it's basically following the exact same plot of Hannibal helps detective to capture criminal.
Yeah.
Although I guess he doesn't help him as much in this one as more he like gives him vague hints and then gives up his location so that he can die.
Yeah.
But in general, I thought that I really like the genre, and it was nice to see more of Hannibal Lecter, I think, because he's an interesting character that you don't see a whole lot of in the Silence of the Lambs. I haven't seen any of the Hannibal. I'm assuming they're both prequels. I don't actually know the timeline of events.
Like Hannibal and Hannibal Rising, or is that the ones you're
Yeah.
referring to? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure either. I don't even know if there's movies for those. I think there's for at least one of them, but I've only read the book for Silence of the Lambs, and I've only seen these two movies, Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon. So I'm not too sure either.
Yeah. So anyways, it's nice to see more of Hannibal because I want to say he gets more screen time in this one, because I think like one of the weirdest facts about Silence of the Lambs is that he's got, I know it's some super absurdly short amount of runtime, but he like completely steals the show. And he does do that again in this film. Like, he's the standout acting wise, character wise, just in general, he's the standout character.
I might
What's that?
disagree with that.
Oh, you disagree, really?
I might. Yeah, I guess I'll finish your thought and I'll jump in then right away.
I just think that these stories always center around Hannibal, like, and I just think that Hannibal's character is great. He's like twisted and he's manipulative, and he's super intelligent but also super twisted, and basically everything just happens the way he wants it to. And I think that he's the center of both of these stories.
All right, so I guess I have two notes. Two of my main notes are made off of this. And for me, the best thing about this movie is Francis Dollarhyde's character. I found him to steal the show this time. I thought his complex, two-dimensional characteristics make him feel real and allows the audience to feel for him despite his awful crimes. I just really enjoyed his character. I thought he was super creepy, but at the same time, like, as horrible as he was, like in the scene where he kills that journalist, the tabloid journalist, and then you see, obviously, I mean, you don't see it, but you hear like that he kills these families and inserts mirrors into their eyes and like does this terrible stuff to them. Like, he's just this super creepy, sinister figure. But then you see the scenes where he's with Reba, who's the blind lady, right? Who's essentially his girlfriend. And like, you feel so bad for him because he's so like socially awkward, and like his self-confidence is like super low, and it's so weird. Like, I really enjoyed that, and I found like he stole the show. For Hannibal Lecter, what I wrote for him was, well, he was still involved and still good. He was not as vital to the plot or as important to the story. For me, he didn't really, like, he was there, he was in the background all the time. I just found like he didn't really do that much. Like, take him out of it and it's still a good movie. Not to say, like, I'll get to my thoughts on what I thought of the whole film in general. His performance was very good, not as good as Silence in my opinion. He was good, but I don't know, the performance just wasn't, I just thought it was good, but it wasn't like what it was in Silence for sure. But yeah, anyways, you can continue on with your notes. That's just what I think. I just disagreed. I thought Francis Dollarhyde was the standout for me in this one.
See, for me, Francis is like, I like that he is personified, but we got that with was it Buffalo Bill in the first one?
Yeah.
I don't remember his actual name, but in that one, like, we got to see the dude and we got to kind of see what was up with him. And we do a lot more of that with Francis in this film, because like he's on screen so much. Like, I want to say like a third of the film he's actually in it and you're like seeing him. I actually found that weird, and I didn't really like it, because the point for me, the thing I like about these films is not seeing it from their point of view, but like, I guess seeing it from their point of view is cool enough, but like, I like seeing the unraveling of the mystery and like them trying to catch him, and showing just him chilling with Reba and whatever. It wasn't as entertaining to me. Like, I like seeing can we catch this guy in time? Like, what's his next plan? Are we going to be able to stop him? I like seeing that aspect of these films. And this film instead decided to focus more on him as just like a dude trying to get with this girl and trying to solve his social issues. And I just didn't find that as intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Like I definitely see where you're coming from. I just yeah, I don't know. I found him to be entertaining. I guess do you want me to I guess I'm gonna give a point next. Did you like notice like I don't know, to me this film had more of a horror vibe to it than like Silence did. Like I know Silence is still considered a horror as well as a thriller and mystery, but this one had like a lot of like jump scares, some of which weren't very good. Lots of suspenseful scenes though, like the scene, I mean obviously at the end, but there's lots of scenes where we just get this lot of suspense. Um and then the dramatic and unrealistic blood spurting, which is like my least favorite thing about horror like tropes, is when like the blood just like splashes everywhere and it's super unrealistic. Like in the scene at the end where Francis supposedly shoots himself, of course he doesn't, and it goes all over her face. Like I just find that super unrealistic and it kind of like takes away from the film. And then there's
Well,
also the scene.
have you ever seen a shotgun blast at close range? That
No, but I don't know. Yeah, I found like it to be, and then there's like the scene at the beginning where there's just the blood everywhere. I don't know. I personally found it to have like some little bit of cheesy elements to it that were like horror. I don't know. I mean, again, it could just be me, but for me, I just found like they were a little bit like some of the jump scares were a little like cheesy. I don't know. What did you think of all that? Like, did you find that it had more of a horror vibe, or you like not
um
at all agreeing there?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't find it scary really. Like there's still a lot of suspense. Like it's a thriller, right?
Yeah.
And when are you referring to jump scares? Because off the top of my head, I can't remember any jump scares.
Well, there's the one where they're walking in like that room and Lecter's walking around the track and he like, pretends to jump out at
Oh yeah, he
him.
pretends to jump out at
And
him.
then there's the one where Lecter's having his dinner and then the cook like slides the plate into the little mailbox like thing and then he's there at the glass. And it was just like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of jump scares. I mean, when they're done well, sure. I didn't think these two were done well, but that's just me personally. Like again, I could be, yeah.
I guess I can understand that. I didn't hate them, but yeah, building suspense through like long tense scenes, like at the end there, is a lot better for me. But you said that you didn't think Silence of the Lambs had that as much.
The suspense I think Silence had, I just didn't think it had like all these like jump scares and stuff.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
don't
I
know.
see. Then yeah, I
Yeah,
can I can agree with that then.
yeah. I didn't find the suspense to be bad actually. I thought the suspense was good. I don't have any problem with that. It was just the blood and the jump scares. All right, so do you have any more notes you want to share?
Um, Basically, I wanted to hear what your thoughts on like the fake out ending are, because I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, I don't know. It just kind of doesn't really make sense from Francis's perspective for me. Like, he doesn't want to kill her, but then why does he leave her in a burning building and not kill himself? Like, I just didn't really get his motivations there, and like why he's so mad at Edward Norton's character. And I just didn't really get the motivations there. So I was wondering if you felt the same about that.
Yeah, the ending was definitely like that whole part where he like takes her back and like does all that. I didn't really find that part of it to be very good. Like, it just seemed kind of like lame. I did enjoy the like little plot twist where it's like, oh, he's not dead. Although I did see it coming because I'm like, well, when she like touches the face, I'm like, that's probably the guy who was lying in the street and not him. So I did kind of like, and then obviously Edward Norton's character is unable to get into the house because it explodes. So I'm like, oh yeah, well he's probably not there. It's gonna be a plot twist. He's gonna like show up or something. But I still enjoyed it, like the little plot twist at the end where he ends up being in the house and then you walk in, you see the shattered mirrors. But yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying about that. Like it's very confusing because you're right. He doesn't want to kill her, but he does, and then he leaves her, and like it's yeah. I'm not really too sure what was going on there. And
Like, I get that he was trying to fight with I guess the red dragon is what the demon thing is called. Like, he was trying to
right,
fight against that, but it just didn't really make sense to me. I did like the final closing scene, like that with him in the house. Just
yeah,
the stuff leading up to that wasn't my favorite.
yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like it that part. If that had been the ending, that would have been super bad.
Especially since the two of them don't actually meet.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'm gonna go now. I want to know personally, what did you think of Edward Norton's performance slash his character? Like, how did you feel about him? Um, his character, Will Graham or whatever. What did you think about that?
I liked seeing it, like, comparing to Silence of the Lambs again. In that one, we see Clarice, who's like just a brand new detective who's kind of trying to figure this stuff out on her own. Whereas Will is like, he's the seasoned vet. I think they said he caught 2 serial killers before that. And so it's interesting to see like a new character who's like, you can tell that he's like brilliant. And I really like the scenes with him where he's like unraveling the mystery and like discovers that, hey, check the eyes for fingerprints or whatever. I really like seeing those scenes. And so, yeah, I really liked his character. In terms of his performance, I mean, I guess he didn't really stand out, but he did good enough, I think.
Yeah, I'll just quickly go over what I wrote. I thought Clarice's character was better. I thought her performance was better, but generally speaking, he was fine. His character was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I haven't seen like anything else, like any other films with Edward Norton in it, as far as I'm aware. I know he's in Fight Club. That's probably like one of his biggest films, I'd have to imagine. But yeah, like I think his character was okay. But you know, it wasn't anything, you know, that stood out to me. I guess, do you have any final notes you want to share?
That's basically all I have to say, I think, until we
All
get
right,
to
I'm just gonna
ratings.
quickly run over like one note. There might have only been one note I didn't get to. So basically, I just want to talk quickly. I really did enjoy the little reference to Silence of the Lambs at the end. Did you catch that, where it's like
Yeah.
Chilton comes in and he's like, "There's an FBI agent here to see you," and whatever, and he goes to turn away to like tell her no, and then Hannibal's like, "What's her name?" But then doesn't actually say what her name is, but pretty much everyone knows who's seen Silence what her name is. Yeah, I thought that was a nice little touch. Like I said, I thought the plot twist at the end was good. Let me just see if I have anything else here. I talked about the horror vibe. Yeah, so that's basically everything I have to say about it. I guess we'll get to your score, Noah. What overall, what's your rating? What did you give it out of 10?
I think that I really enjoyed the film. Like I said, this is one of my favorite genres. But in terms of like comparing this to Seven, Signs of the Lambs, Zodiac, all of those films, it's not the best made of all of them. It's still better than Zodiac, but it's nothing compared to Silence of the Lambs and Seven, in my opinion.
I
So I'm
forgot
gonna
to ask you a question. You can give your thing first. I just forgot to ask you one question.
okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think.
All right, fair enough. And um, what did you think about the cinematography? I guess just quickly touch on that if there's anything that stood out to you about it or anything you want to
Honestly,
talk
I
about.
didn't notice the cinematography at all.
It's
Like,
exactly what I noticed. I thought too. The only thing is the one shot where like Edward Norton's character is walking down the hallway to meet Lecter in his cell is like a complete ripoff of Silence when they have the tracking
yeah.
shot of Clarice. It's just like, okay, well, nice try.
I
Like,
think
no.
basically that whole scene was like a shot for shot recreation with the new
Yeah,
characters.
and not done as well in my opinion. But cinematography was, yeah, basically didn't notice it. My overall rating, again, I actually agree with you. Silence of the Lambs is a far better film. I gave Silence of the Lambs on the Farside podcast a 9.5 out of 10, and I watched that film about 3 weeks ago, and that score still stands 100%. I think it's an amazing film. Obviously this film is better than Zodiac. uh, but I actually went with a 7.5. I would recommend it. I would probably watch it again, but it's nothing that's super amazing or anything. It's a good film though.
Yeah.
All right, so that's about it. Noah, thank you for joining me here on the Farside Podcast. And thanks for, sharing a little bit of information about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it was good to be on here. Thanks for having me on again after cutting me at the end of last season.
Yeah, apologies for that, Noah. The higher ups at Farside wanted to change up the programming a little bit. All right, so thank you, viewers, for watching. If you've stuck with us till the end, I appreciate it, and I'm sure Noah does too. The next episode will be out next Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Until then, I guess I'll finish with the iconic line I've been using since the very beginning of these podcasts. I am going to be signing out.